I think that when we did drove around the county, I think we should have, the three commissioners that were driving around and looked at all the necessities that were needed. I think we can all agree that even though I represent Precinct 1, I represent Maverick County as a whole. I make decisions that affect Maverick County as a whole, not only Precinct 1. And I think we clearly saw that most of the need was in Precinct 2. And even though I can come in here and say, I want my fair share, I don't think it's fair for the residents of Precinct 2. And saying, I see it as even to a point of taking advantage of those residents by distributing the amounts equally when we that drove around and physically saw the needs out there can see the need in Precinct 2. I'm not saying there's no needs in Precinct 4, 3, and 1, but the brunt of the needs, when we drive around, when we drove around and saw that, unfortunately, it's in Precinct 2. You know, we went on Precinct 1 and we looked around, but I was I knew there were some needs in Precinct 2, but when we physically drove around through every one of those streets, I was just, disappointed at the condition of those streets. And we have to come back and, like they say, we're here to take the vote for all of Maverick County, not just for our precinct. We got to focus on our precinct. At the same time, we got to focus on the whole community in whole, as a whole. And I wish Mr. Reese was with us when we were driving around and looking at this street so that he could understand the needs of Precinct 2. Unfortunately, he had other commitments, and maybe that's why he's leaning towards making a decision to do equally. And I disagree with that. Even though I do want to service my residents in Precinct 1, we are getting improvements done in Precinct 1. We did get $250,000 on the last meeting that I was in here. We need to look at the reality of the situation. And right now, the residents of Precinct 2 need a lot more help than the other three precincts. And I invite the community to go out there and drive around the precincts and go out and see where do we need to do focus this improvements. Ramos does need improvement, but she also saw what was needed in Precinct 2. And I think that's where we need to focus the majority of this funds. And we need to do the right thing. We cannot let what's going to happen if we distribute this equally. Precinct 2 is still going to be neglected. We can't allow that. Again, we represent Maverick County as a whole. We cannot, you were part of that judge when they came and took everything away from Precinct 3. We would just take it to another precinct. And now we're in the situation where we're at, where why did this precinct get so abandoned? Because at that time, there was a court that was taking all the funding away from the other commissioners. I don't think this court should allow that to happen again. We need to be fair and fair. And if there's a bigger need in one of the areas, let's focus on that area. And let's bring everybody up to prayer. And if there's a bigger need in one of the areas, we get so abandoned. Because at that time, from Precinct 3, we would just take it to another precinct. And now we're in the situation where we're at, where why did this precinct get so abandoned? Because at that time, there was a court that was taking all the funding away from the other commissioners. I don't think this court should allow that to happen again. We need to be fair and square, and if there's a bigger need in one of the areas, let's focus on that area. And let's bring everybody up to par, and then start distributing them out. We're in a position where next year we're going to come in, and the following year, and do way more improvements than we've done in this past 8 years. Let's bring everybody up to par. Let's bring everybody up to par, and then move forward from there. That's what I would like to lean towards. You know, you need amounts, I can provide them. Go ahead.
I appreciate Mr. Morales' comments, and it is true that I strongly been working on not projects since day one that I came in office, about 7 years ago. I've been working on improving my streets. In Precinct 2, we have more Galicia streets than the other precincts. Right now, I still have about 107 streets that need improvements. 107 streets in Precinct 2 that are in really bad shape. And like I said, all my budget has always been on paving streets. And we all know that the first years we struggled a lot. We weren't getting much funding. And now that we're getting a little bit more, I've been able to pave. I want to say that in this 7 years, I've been able to pave around 20 something streets, like 26 streets. But I still have about 107 more that are in really bad shape. So